Hi, everybody. Okay, so, oh boy. Okay, so, how am I going to start this? Okay. Okay. So, Ashley Brewer is doing a bang up job. And as I discussed in my last video a little bit, she is clearly pregnant because she was behind a door and behind, like, looking through a window. I called her, like, I was like, is she trying to be a creeper? Because, oh boy. Okay. So, and we had a bit of a flashback, but not really. They're doing this weird thing now where I think they're trying to do the inner dialogue, inner monologue. Like, okay, somebody's standing there and they're thinking things to themselves, but you can hear what they're thinking. Really odd. Okay? Just odd. I don't need the inner monologue. I really don't. Because you could just do one flashback, one, and cover everything. But I guess it's just a preference of mine. Okay, so the reason my title is New Relationships with a question mark is because that's what the topic was today. Um, so clearly they are setting up RJ and Electra, and with the help of Ivy, Ivy is conniving. If if Ashley Brewer ever played a bad girl, she's doing it again because oh boy. Number one, she got out of there like a bat yesterday so that they could be alone. And then now, today that we're playing Truth or Dare, and then RJ, Brian Nicoletti. Shout out Brian Nicoletti. Woohoo. Okay, so he says, I've done two truths in a row, so you owe me a dare. So then he wanted her to skinny dip, but then she said no. So then she wore a bathing suit or whatever. So, whatever. But the whole time, pretty much the whole time, Ivy was looking through the window. And I was like, what the, what? Okay. And then, let's see. On the other side, we have Crew Morrow. Woo! My hashtag for today, Crew Morrow. If Crew Morrow doesn't get an Emmy nomination, there's something wrong with the committee. And Sydney Bullet, my girl Sydney Bullet. Okay, so they are doing a bang up job. All of them are doing a bang up job. Okay? And then we had the boring story of Steffi and Finn, who I have now convinced myself that Finn is there just for eye candy. Because what does Tanner Noblin do? Um, so, okay. So then, okay. On the one side, you have to imagine a split screen, if you will. On the left side, we have RJ and Electra. On the right side, we have Melissa and Will. Right? Okay. So you're like, okay, this is gonna go somewhere. They're clearly contesting, yada yada yada. I've talked about it ad nauseum. Okay. So, like I said, they're playing Truth or Dare. They're getting close. RJ kisses Electra. I'm like, okay. But then she can't stop thinking about Will. And I'm like, oh man, come on, you're young. What the heck? You're not going to get married next week. Uh, anyway, okay, and then we have Melissa and Will. Ooh, my couple, Mill. Team Mill. Okay, so she's all thankful and everything, and they're having a nice time. And like I said, they kissed a little bit, and then she left to go to the other apartment or whatever, the guest house. And so, okay, so then he's kind of Crew Morrow. The reason Crew Morrow should get an Emmy nomination And even a win is because that boy can act his butt off. Number one. Number two, I can tell exactly what he's thinking in his facial expressions. That is a feat. Okay? I knew he was tortured, inner torture from his facial expression. That is acting 103. Okay? Um, so yeah. Okay. So what he's tortured about is he's remembering Electra, he's remembering how they met, remembering the connection, and then he says, snap out of it, Will. It's over. So then he's kind of reliving a little bit what happened with Melissa over the night, and then he's just like smiling. And then she comes back to the door because she says, oh, sorry, I forgot my cupcake, because Morrow should get like boyfriend of the month, or because okay, this girl starts a job at Forrester. He gets her a cupcake for the first day. Man, if he's not the boyfriend of the month, there's something wrong with you guys. Okay. And so I'm like, oh, sweet. Okay, so she says, forgot my cupcake. And then she reads the room. Thank God she reads the room. And says, well, maybe I should go. And he's like, no, don't go. And then he says, I'm lucky too, because it's hard to find somebody that you connect with and can talk to and whatever. And that's rare. And I'm like, yes. And then they start kissing. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I really thought they were going to go like beyond that. And I'm like, no. And the only reason I said no is because I was talking to myself, as I do. And I said, honey, meaning Morrow, you're not in the right headspace. You should not be doing that with this girl. If you like her, you don't do that. Because you can't do that in the wrong headspace. So yeah, the one time I said no where he's involved. But I just gave you my reasons, so okay. Oh boy. So okay. I gave you everything in basically as close in a nutshell as I can. Okay, so future projection. They have to have the Deacon and Taylor and Sheila storyline at some point this week because they teased it, and they only have 2 days. So are they going to do a 2-day thing, or are they doing the Thursday and then a Friday cliffhanger? I mean, I don't know, but they got to fit it in there because you can't tease me and then not produce, man. So I don't know. But this is going to be the start of a new couple. Which one is going to be the new couple? I don't know. But you can see they're setting up the quadrangle that I talked about yesterday. Yeah, they're setting it up. So, all right. Bye, guys.